Oh shit, walao eh.
It was the first time we knew that we would get a medal.
Hi everyone, welcome to BeBold's first ever BeBold series, and today we have Wahtoon here with us.
Hello.
So Wahtoon is actually a former national gymnast and also he's a practicing dentist. Many of you would know him as a silver medalist in 2015 SEA Games, but do you know about the many near misses in his athlete's career? So today we are going to find out a little bit more about his story.
I started gymnastics when I was 7. My first international competition was I was in primary 5. Yeah, so that was the first time that I went overseas as a gymnast, representing Singapore, even though it was Singapore schools, and competing with people from other countries. That sort of got me interested in wanting to represent Singapore more. And growing up, I always wanted to win an individual medal at SEA Games. My first SEA Games was 2005, in Manila, I still remember. I was only 15. I was gunning for floor and vault. That's my two strongest events. I made the vault final and I finished 4th. Yeah, it was a very, very close, very near miss. After that near miss, I thought, okay, let me try again, 2007. That was in Korat, Thailand. That competition didn't go very, very well. I didn't even make the finals for both events, so that was a bummer. There was this one person who I still remember. He was part of like the sporting group. He came to me and he said something like, are you sure you were prepared for this? Because looking at your performance, you didn't seem very prepared, which really struck me because I think no athlete would go into a competition purposely or intentionally not preparing themselves fully. I don't think it is anyone's intention to not want to win lah. I was just very disappointed in like the sport and disappointed in everything because I felt like at this point nobody seems to understand or care when you don't do well in a competition, except of course like your family lah. It was 2011 SEA Games and this was in Palembang, yes, Indonesia. First day we looked at the conditions of the games village, wasn't good at all. The dining hall had a lot of flies, so we were told don't take the raw stuff like the vegetables and fruits, just take cooked food. That night, the moment after lights out, went to sleep, I just remember I jumped out of bed because I had to go to the toilet. I jumped out of bed, ran to the toilet and I vomited. And I felt better. So I went back and I thought, okay, this is going to be over. Let's just get a few more hours of sleep before the next day, which was the qualifying round of competition. So it was the biggest day for the entire competition. Subsequently, every hour I had to go to the toilet. And in between, I couldn't sleep. I think I developed a fever also. And I didn't want to disturb anyone because it was everyone's big day the next day. It was funny because I had to go diarrhea all the way, even as we were preparing, warming up for the competition, I still had to make trips to the toilet. Morning session was my floor qualification. Floor is like 70 seconds of non-stop tumbling. By the time I reached the last pass, I couldn't breathe, I couldn't feel anything. And the only thing I remember was I landed almost like on my face. And then all I could hear was everyone was like, oh, and then that was what I remembered. And then I got up and then I just walked off feeling like very, very horrible. Actually at that point was really, I would say it was my lowest in terms of mental. It was the lowest point in my entire life for gymnastics. But my then teammate, and I still remember, and I always tell everyone this, he could see I was really, really, really sad. I think he came to me and then he was the one who told me the quote. He said, it's not the destination that matters, it's the journey. And then I was thinking, I was like, yeah. So he said, yeah, if you didn't win, it doesn't matter. If you, more importantly, you should, if you have a goal, you should always just keep working towards it. As long as you're able to, you should always keep working towards that goal. Yeah, and I think that stuck with me for a very, very long time. That very sentence that he said to me really was what that drove me to compete in many, many more years after that. At times when maybe nobody believes in you, when maybe you're not even sure that you can do what you set out to achieve, when maybe you have tried many, many times and it has never, you have never reached your goal, you have never managed to meet people's expectations. I think being bold is to realize that you don't have to satisfy or meet everyone's expectations. And if you're not happy with with your own performance, with your own achievement, if you're not happy with that, Being bold is to make sure you yourself don't give up and you keep trying lah. Even if you may not reach your end goal, you must at least be satisfied with the journey. That means the many years that you've tried. If you're satisfied with that, I think that is also an achievement, and that will be as good as reaching the destination itself lah. I got a call from the association. They were like, "Hey, Wahtoon." And I was like, "Yes." They were like, "You know, you qualified for Commonwealth Games later this year." I was like, "Huh?" I was like, "No." Firstly, I already told them that I was going to stop training. Secondly, I had no mental preparation. I didn't even set a plan for myself that I would, work towards going for the 2014 Commonwealth Games. Then I was like at a crossroads. And then I decided, okay lah, let's just try lah. Since all this while, I've always tried so hard to try to qualify for the games. This is the one time that someone has called me to tell me, hey, you have qualified, it's whether you want to go or not. So I was like, maybe it's a sign, maybe it's a good thing. Then flew to Glasgow with the team. Only the day before competition, I still remember, we were just sitting down. I was told that we were going to have a meeting. They were like, oh, Toon, you are not competing for vault. And then at this point, I was just like, what? Like, there's no way I'm not going to compete in vault, because that is my pet event. That is, I've come here to only compete 2 events. If you take one away, then you mean I train so hard for what? Like, I come here to do 1 event? Okay, so the person that I trusted the most was on a plane over. I think the team manager was on a plane over. So that was my problem. And the competition was the next day. And so all this while, it was just a very anxious, waiting, nervous game. And I think the team manager talked to the coach, and he reversed the decision lah. Yeah, and then so anyway, went for the competition, the qualifying, did very well. Made 2 finals, which was unprecedented, because I was hoping for 1. Then when I got 2, I was like, oh wow, this is good enough, because no matter what, I would have made it top 8. And that would have been an achievement good enough to present to Sports Council and be like, okay, at least you flew this guy here for 2 finals, so it's good. Top 8 in Commonwealth, enough. Next day, vault. So on the day, I still remember, it was just very, very stressful. And I went into vault, and then I did my first vault, was okay, was good. Second vault, I remember, as I was doing it, for some reason, I think my legs gave way after I jumped or something. But I remember I felt like crashing. And then for some reason, for some reason, I didn't crash. And not just that, so sometimes when you feel like crashing, you will bail out of the move because you want to save yourself. But I didn't bail out, and somehow I landed on my feet. So actually, from the video, right, if you look, there's this look of relief right after the vault. And I'm almost I'm almost going to collapse, because I really thought I would be land smack on my face, but somehow I landed on my feet. And then the commentator actually on the video will be like, oh, he looks like he injured himself. What's that look of, that look on his face? Did he injure himself?
I'm not sure whether that look on his face after he landed was one of relief or maybe slight pain in the ankles. It was a grimace and a grin at once.
But actually, it's really because I honestly felt like I was going to crash, but somehow I just made it on my 2 feet, and the landing was quite good, in fact. So I don't know how it happened, but it happened. And then I remember looking up and then just it's over. So I went down, then I was just like, oh, okay, let's just sit here and enjoy everything. So actually, I would have really not been anywhere near the medal contention in terms of skill. But as the competition went on, the people with the bigger difficulty somehow had mistakes. I think out of the 8 of us, right, I think 4 had big mistakes. Big mistakes meaning they would have never made top 3. So I think when the 4th person made the big mistakes, the then coach was like, oh my god, you have a chance. And then I was just like, then I looked at the scoreboard and I was like, oh yeah, I have a chance. And I started getting nervous again, because I never thought that, my name would stay in contention, medal contention. The last person to go was my teammate, my fellow teammate. So I think by the 7th person already, we knew that it was either me in bronze or him. So at that point, I was thinking, oh yeah, it doesn't matter lah. First time Singapore going to win a Commonwealth, Singapore gymnastics, men some more, going to win a Commonwealth Games medal, right? Doesn't matter who it is. Got a teammate with bronze, it'll be very, very good. At least on our report card this time, it will not be the lowest grade. So I was just definitely, I was very, very happy. So could see that the whole Singapore team was the supporters, the team manager were all very, very happy, because we knew that we will get a medal. So I think he ended up 5th. Yeah, so But when the moment he finished, we came down, we were just, if you see a video again, I still have the photo, we were just hugging because like it was the first time we knew that we would get a medal. And yeah, and that was my first ever like international medal, and yeah, it's a very, very good experience. Yeah, that's how I won my first medal.